All right, Jake.
Hello, Dan.
Here we are.
This is our first bit of audio, first proper film in our new content room. So thank you for setting it up.
Thanks for the table.
Stealing my desk.
I'll
have to get a new one.
The boss's table.
Yep.
Awesome.
That's commitment to the content.
It is commitment. So guys, the format around this, we're going to answer your questions thick and fast as they come through on the social media. The first one came yesterday from Simon. He said, please talk about the make and model of the products that you use, such as panels, inverters, and racking, used along with the aspect panels should be installed on. So talk us through our panels, what we use, and inverters.
Beautiful. Simon, mate, thank you. We appreciate your engagement in the question. So let's start from the top. Let's start with panels. So here at Penrith Solar, we only use Sunpower panels. Right now, we have two panels that we use. We have the Max 5 410 watt AC module. So every one of those panels has an inbuilt microinverter. And we use the P3 370 watt black on black module. So that's our most popular panel. About 90% of our installs would be that panel. The 370 watt and the Max 5, they both have a full 25-year warranty. Actually, the Max 5 now has a 40-year warranty, which is bizarre, unheard of in the solar industry. Yeah. Borderline scary, to be honest, for someone like me who's sitting here saying I'm going to be doing this for the next 50 years or whatever that looks like. You know, it is borderline scary.
Awesome.
But it is awesome. It shows Sunpower's commitment to the products that they're building. Like no one else is putting their name on the line or their balls on the line, if you will, around warranties. So they are a manufacturer that we know that has the product to stand the test of time. Yep. And they are a manufacturer that we know stands behind their product as well and their warranty ultimately. Yeah. So, that's Sunpower. We use those guys for our panels. At PSC, we don't use a whole range of things. We just pick like literally what I'd put on my own house or, the best and best value for money and best in quality kind of goes with our saying, the best or nothing.
Yes.
And so that's what we do. We don't offer like 7 different panels. It just doesn't make any sense to me. We just give you what I'd put on my nan and pop's house and my own. For inverters, we only use Enphase micro-inverters. So I guess what is an inverter? I mean, your panels, they generate energy. That energy comes down in the form of DC, typically in a typical system to an inverter. It converts the energy to AC, which is usable in our home. With a microinverter, instead of doing it in one centralized string inverter, we actually decentralize that. We decentralize the risk as well. We put a microinverter under every single panel so that straight away your energy that's generated in DC gets changed to AC at panel level, comes with an array of advantages which we'll cover in a later chat. And so for that, we use Enphase microinverters. Enphase are the pioneer of the microinverter. They are not the only microinverter in Australia at the moment. There are another 1 or 2 companies sort of having a crack at it. Tested and trialed. When you bolt the Enphase microinverter up with these Sunpower integrated AC modules, they have a full 25-year warranty. So most inverters in the market have a 5-year warranty, like 10-year if you're pushing it. But if you read their warranty guidelines or warranty documentation, most of the time the second 5 years out of the 10 years is only parts. It doesn't include labor or vice versa. Yep. So to have a full 25-year start to finish warranty on a product, an inverter, it's peace of mind, to the max. And again, Enphase, they build this robust, beautiful unit. Like the thing I love about a microinverter is the construction. It is sleek and sexy and a hyper powerful module, but it's filled with this potting mix, right? And what a potting mix is, it's a type of insulant. It helps or it aids in cooling the microinverter. So it keeps the microinverter cooler by distributing the heat, getting the heat away from the electronics. But the other side advantage of potting mix, like the fill inside the microinverter, is how solid it holds all the components in the microinverter. We did a video the other week where we ran over a microinverter on a forklift and on your one wheel. That microinverter, we'd plug that in right now, it'd work straight away. And we will abuse that microinverter further. Microinverters will be harmed in the making of this video. And we'll keep breaking them. But 100%. But when So like, let's dig deeper into this potting mix thing quickly. Our roads in Western Sydney, like, I don't know, you name one road other than the M7 that's perfect. It's like, I'll be sitting here for years while you try and find one.
Yep.
Potholes, like, things come in cargo, you know, on ships to Australia. They get banged around by forklifts in the loading dock. They get sent to our factory. They get put on the back of our truck, and they get sent up to about 80 k's away from our office is our service radius. Even a little further, you know, if we're going to Lithgow or something like that. They're getting banged around in the back of the truck, you know. That potting mix, it is the biggest undercover secret weapon to their 25-year warranty, in my opinion. It's holding those components rock solid, tight as. Like, to the point where you could drag one behind a car for like hundreds of kilometers, and I reckon it would still hold form and you could still plug it in and work. String inverters, particularly string inverters, I guess that's kind of the main different inverter. Alternative, yeah. Their components they're just soldered PC boards, you know. And look, yeah, they're built pretty good. There are some manufacturers that do that better than others, but at the end of the day, they're just components sitting there on a PC board. So the heavier the component, like a big capacitor or something like that, sitting there in air is its insulant. The more that bounces from my factory to your house, the more like pressure and stress and fracture that you're going to actually put on that soldered joint in the future. Now, I'm not saying that components are going to fall out of inverters, but from an electrician's point of view, the logic behind that, I think there's some real big merit to what Enphase has done with their potting mix. So that's one of the mass amounts of reasons, again, that we only use Enphase microinverters. We've been Enphase exclusively for over 12 months now. In the last 12 months, we installed a little over 30,000 Enphase microinverters. So yeah, that's on our Enphase portal. They tell you how many you've done for the last 12 months. So pretty cool. Over 30,000. Like, it's an unfathomable amount, really. When
Enphase
they wouldn't even
installer
fit in
of the
this
year.
room.
That's it. Crowned Enphase installer of the year last year.
Enphase installer of the year 2021. So we want to keep that going. Like, we acknowledge that there are people that have done Enphase maybe longer than us. You know, we acknowledge people do it pretty well as well. We acknowledge you know, that there are people out there that have actually installed more microinverters than us. It won't be for long though. I'll tell you that. We are sending it. Absolutely. Which brings us on to our next product. iBoards, you know, iBoards aren't necessarily like an Enphase made product, but what they are is they're a product locally put together in Port Kembla, which is Wollongong of New South Wales. And he takes the best of what we already use, so Legrand enclosures, Enphase Envoy and relays, and he actually puts it all together in a pre-made board for us so that our efficiencies on site and our warehouse efficiencies skyrocket, you know. So this board is built in a controlled environment in Mick's office, and they test every single board to make sure that it is, you know, it works. There's no installer error or anything like that, and it does make it simple for us. It saves us time. It costs us a little more. It's a little more of an investment, but the key is it gives our clients a consistent experience. Every single one of our clients that receive an iBoard, they get the same sticker kit. They get the same looking product. The switches are the same, which means we can deliver you better after sales service because we can we troubleshoot remotely. We've got internet access into this product. So that's another product we use. So shout out to Mickey, you know, small business down in Wollongong, absolutely awesome kicking goals, you know, doing really, really well. And, you know, there are some good people in the solar industry. Mickey's a great person in the solar industry. So highly recommended. Racking. One of the pieces of the solar system that's often left out by installers. They don't actually mention what they use or they don't care about it. But for us, it's super important. You know, we've used Clenergy exclusively since around 2017. We went from the Clenergy silver rail to their Hollywood black rail in, I think, late 2018. And we never looked back since. The black, like, you can have the black sexy panels and you can have everything else, you know, iBoards, Enphase, you name it. But you don't put black rail on it. Like, you haven't gone that extra mile to make sure that it is the best you can possibly get, you know. I often describe it, and it's a bit hypocritical of me because I actually had braces, adult braces, but I describe black rail versus silver rail as like Invisalign versus braces.
Yep.
Both get you the same result. Both are going to hold your panels.
Yep.
One's aesthetically pleasing.
Yep.
One's a pain in the ass. And I can tell you firsthand, braces are tough work. Yeah, the commitment of braces is hard. Silver rail's the same. It's braces for your solar panels.
Yep.
Now, like I said, that hits me in the heart because I had braces and my little brother had Invisalign.
Yep.
Way better. We didn't have it when we were younger though.
Yes.
Now we do. Now we have black rail. We have aesthetically pleasing, beautiful rail that seamlessly ties your panels to your roof. It's engineered. If we install it to their specs, you get an engineering certificate. It's legit. Sean and the team at Clenergy, they're always innovating. They're always building new stuff. If we've got a problem, that they'll be building a solution for us. So, Clenergy do an incredible job. That is that we use the PV Easy Rack, Clenergy Black. Again, we only need to use one different type of rail. We don't keep silver here. We don't, black mids and end clamps as well. So it really just ties in perfectly. Yeah, it's a solid product.
And that's really the full production line there. You've got the panel integration with the inverter. You've got just one, line of Clenergy racking that every client can expect and see on their install on their roofs. And obviously everyone gets the iBoard too.
Absolutely.
Same experience.
But there is one more thing, Dan.
Yes.
Battery storage.
Yeah.
So battery storage, we are seeing this thing take off like Elon Musk's Falcon rocket. Yeah. It is just going crazy at the moment. We've got team members here selling like a battery a day. And I'm talking this time last year, it would have been a battery a month. Yep. Battery storage is going bizarre. And that's fueled by a few things. Yes. Uncertainty of the energy network, the stability of the poles and wires, pricing. We haven't actually seen in the news since COVID come about anything about electricity prices increasing. The spotlight was taken away, but the last month or two, I've really seen energy prices, war, oil, fuel, fossil fuels, Russia. It's all driving energy prices higher. People are fearful of that, and they want certainty. So the way they get certainty is with battery storage. There are another couple of reasons. I'm personally a user of battery storage. I have batteries on my over the top battery storage, and I'll continue to do that for the rest of my life because I practice what I preach and I live the electric lifestyle, and I show that the electric lifestyle is fun as hell. Oh, that's another topic.
That is.
But battery storage that we use, Tesla Powerwall, in my opinion right now, there's not a battery on the market that touches it. There's not a battery on the market that comes even 70% of what a Powerwall is. Yeah. And I'm not just talking I am talking what it does. I'm talking about how slick it is. I'm talking about ease of install. I'm talking about AC coupled, adaptable, scalable. You can put 1 on now, 9 on later, up to 10 on a house per gateway.
It's wild.
It's so crazy. The backup. I live in a street in Winmalee, New South Wales, Blue Mountains. We get blackouts all the time. We're one of those streets that I'm talking, there's a little bit of thunder, bang, blackout. My street, my house stays on. It's the only one in the street that stays on. And everyone's looking out the window, sending me text messages. Oh, cool, you've still got power. Come over, guys. Let's have a party. Let's have a chat. Let's learn about batteries while we're here.
Have a lesson.
Yeah. However, there is one product coming to the market, and look, for me, when new products come to the market, I know it might sound a little crazy because here at Penrith Solar, we move fast. We're innovators. We love new products. Yep. But I don't often dabble in brand new products. I kind of am a little reserved. I want them to be trialed, tested before we move all in on a product. Yep. And that's only because we have been burnt in the past with being the person that does the trial unit, and it just lets people down. Yep. Once we know that they are dialed in, we'll bring it on. And there is one product that I'm highly excited for. The new Enphase batteries. The Enphase Ensemble. So Enphase Ensemble, as a whole energy management unit, you know, and Enphase's vision is like bringing the electric house to us. Hey, let's create the electric house. This is the only way, you know, we're going to be net zero by 2050 and beyond, you know. So Enphase has this wicked vision that all starts with a micro-inverter. A micro-inverter and software, you know, and a vision to reduce reliance on fossil fuels. Now, what they've done is they've got batteries. They already made a battery in the past, and it was a bit of a trial battery. We didn't really do that many of them, to be fair and honest. But this next one, it's leveled up. Like, I seen a sneak peek of one last night that got installed in Australia under wraps. Would never disclose where it is. But it's working, like right now, like today, you know, it's working, and it's working in time for the Smart Energy Conference, which is 5 days away now. Gotcha. And I'm excited. Like, I looked at it and I had a good deep look, and I was like, wow, this is a game changer. And I don't ever say that about anything. Yeah. I'll wait for it to come and be proven before I will actually declare something a game changer.
That's it.
But this is it, man. This is legit. Enphase have leveled up. And I think that, you know, the likes of Tesla and Sonnen and these other LG Chem, these other battery manufacturers, they're going to have
to respond. Like
they've got to respond. Yeah. And look, I'm not saying it's going to trump Tesla. It may not. Hard to say. But for the consumer, what it means is there's competition.
Yes.
Competition drives prices down. It makes it more affordable. These battery manufacturers aren't sitting there trying to chop each other's throats off. They are not. Panel manufacturers, completely different. I believe they are. Battery manufacturers all share this vision of net zero. They're supporting each other. You know, they're helping each other. Like, Elon released the patent of his motors in his electric vehicles to other vehicle manufacturers. So he's helping. He knows that he can't be at his mission, which is accelerating the world's transition to sustainable energy, without other people helping. And I really feel like Enphase as well have grabbed that and said, you know what, we may not make electric vehicles, you know, but what we can do really well is we can electrify the home. You know, electric homes is here now, and Tesla will help them do that. LG Chem, they'll all work together. It'll be cool.
Well, it's a global effort, isn't it? Like, you look at the actual numbers. I think I saw that Elon said something in the order of 300 terawatt hours of storage. I can't even comprehend how much storage that is. Yeah. But he put a number on it. He said the world will roughly need that amount of battery storage to get off the bulk of fossil fuels.
Yes.
And he just said, look, simply, like, it doesn't matter how many gigafactories I build, I still can't meet that demand.
Yep.
So it's like a global effort. Like, everyone needs to lift. Like,
everyone has to lift.
Everyone needs to contribute. And I think it's opening the market like that, like Enphase joining the market, obviously putting a bit of risk on the table to further that mission. It's admirable, really. Yeah,
I agree. There is like, just while you're saying that, another mass cell manufacturer or battery supplier, and they don't just make batteries. They're actually like quite a big competition to Tesla, in my opinion, around vehicles, electric buses. Got vehicles in the market. That's BYD. Okay. So BYD are a Chinese manufacturer. They have batteries in Australia right now. I personally haven't installed one. They're a DC coupled product, and I hope that's right. They're a DC coupled product, and we don't do DC coupled products. We're Enphase, we're AC coupled. But I do know, like, my good friends down at NRG in South Australia, Eddie and Sam, they love the product. You know, right. They love BYD. Eddie has one in his house, in his wine cellar, that he's so proud of. You know, so you know, they love it, and that's another big player. And I think there are big things to come from them in the future, which will help Enphase and Tesla level up. You know?
Drive innovation too. Like, nothing drives innovation like competition.
Absolutely.
And a deadline. Like, the 2050 deadline is awesome.
2050. What?
Yeah.
How many years away is that?
I know. That's what?
Like 28.
28, yeah.
28 years.
Yeah.
God.
It's not long, man.
It's
almost how old you are.
I'm nearly 30.
Reborn.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. And Simon's last question was just about, we've answered this in a few other vlogs and stuff, but orientation of panels on the roof. It's not all about north, is it?
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, just to it's not about north. It's the key is self-consumption.
Yes.
Right. So my roof, like, I have 30 kilowatts on my house, and it is mostly facing south.
Yep.
So I personally, I'm against tilt frames. I'm a real big believer, and this is my theory, that you are far better off having more panels facing south. Now, not 45 degrees south, and I'm in Sydney, by the way, not 45 degrees south, like I'm a 10 degrees south, like a gentle slope. If I was to take those panels and tilt them, I would cast a shadow on the panel behind. So if I've got 6 rows of panels, I've got to delete every second row so I'm not shading those panels, and then I'm left with 3 rows. Now, the thing is, flat south panels in summer kick ass. Like, they will outperform sometimes panels in any other orientation on your roof. In winter, they do struggle. It is fair to say they do struggle, but do they struggle to the amount where the tilted ones will earn you more yield in 365 days? I'm a no. You know, for me, my summer usage is huge. Like, it makes sense for me to have it all laid out. Plus, I'm maximizing my government rebate.
Yep.
My STCs, you know, my incentive, my kickback, my little bit of getting back of what I've paid in taxes. So with that being said, if I was to do the smaller, only 3 rows and do literally half the panels, my rebate would be worth half of doing the big system. So I think like long-term benefit, I'd be all about south. But north is always going to be your best generator in terms of kilowatt hours or yield per day. We find east and west to be about 11% less on average at an optimum sort of 30 or 27 to 30 degrees.
Yep.
Yeah. However, the thing with east and west is like it's usable energy, man. So my favorite scenario is having a perfect east and west roof. I love to put about 1/3 on the east and 2/3 on the west. And it depends on the family, but you know, it really depends on net zero by 2050 too. Because this family probably ain't going to live in a house for 30 years. They might be there for 5, 7. So if I can actually influence it myself and have a bit of input and say, you know what, you guys, and sometimes families don't actually know how much energy they use in the morning or afternoon. Morning, you get up, you know, you have your breakfast, you have your shower routine, you might get the kids ready for school. There can be no one home during the middle of the day. It's actually quite common, you know. Afternoon is where a lot of things happen, you know, from 2 o'clock onwards, people getting home. You've got your cooking, you've got heating and cooling of the home typically happens in the afternoon, particularly aircon in summer. You can program your pool to operate almost any time you want. So for me, I'm always trying to shape, you know, 1/3 east, 2/3 west. And I think it's the perfect self-consumption habit. When you bolt battery storage onto that as well, it matters less what way your panels face, because you can generate a mass amount of energy in the middle of the day. If it's all in the north, you can store it. Yeah. So while we're in this revolution right now of self-consumption, I believe as battery storage becomes more at everyone's fingertips, and you know, the government may even kick in and do some sort of battery rebate. I believe it'll matter less. Our conversations will no longer be, hey, what roof faces are actually usable or what are the best. It'll be, how much can I get, and will it produce enough energy to put into my batteries for me to use whenever I want?
Gotcha.
That's how I think the conversation will change and shift. Batteries just shape our energy exactly how we need. Think of like batteries as being like just... It's like having a northeast, south, and west roof in a little bundle. You know what I mean? It's like it's a bucket. It's energy when you need it on demand.
That's so true.
As long as it's there, you've got enough of it.
And the great thing about, you know, Enphase, Sunpower products that we use, you know, like if you have an existing system and you do get a battery in the future and you don't have panels on your west, you know, it's so easy to tag on more panels 100%. In the future. Like the system and products that we use are so scalable, so easy plug and play systems that can just be added on when you get, you know, when it's economical to get a battery, we'll be ready.
Yeah, it's modular.
It's modular.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, that clients might increase their usage. We could have clients that buy solar right now with no kids. 10 years time, they might have 3. And they might be charging iPads. They might have bubble machines. Who knows? They could be
That's it.
Possibilities are endless,
They
right?
just got to add a few more kilowatts to the
They've
roof.
got to add a few more kilowatts.
And we can do that.
Or hey,
you know?
what about electric vehicles, EVs?
exactly.
They might go buy an EV, and they might commute 10Ks to work a day there and back, and they might be able to manage it with their solar, topping up their EV every night. But if they change jobs and they got to commute 50Ks, what about, hey, we need another 2 to 3 kilowatts on our roof to accommodate for that extra 10 to 12 kilowatt hours of energy my car uses. As we decentralize away from service stations, from the diesel, the dinosaur juice, as I call it, into EV, that's a real possibility.
Absolutely.
So to wrap it up, like when thinking about the products we use and the tilt and orientation that you want, it is important to future-proof yourself, and you do that by having a system that's modular, scalable, and so important. A system that gives you data, a system that will show you, hey, you could do with a bit of extra energy here. Where are you going to get that from? Like something that will even help size batteries for you in the future. And what I'm specifically talking about there, guys, is consumption monitoring, which is included in every single one of our Enphase systems.
We'll put some info on that up on the screen in a sec. But anyway,
absolutely,
that was awesome.
Alrighty, episode 1. Thank you for
you.
your questions. We're looking forward to more of them as we polish the PSC Solar Academy. We are committed to the content. We are committed to you as people that want to watch our content, and we're committed to net zero by 2050.
Let's go.
Cheers to that.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Dan.
See you guys.